This week marks 163 years since crews first broke ground on the First Transcontinental Railroad, and it all started here in what's now Old Sacramento. And joining us this morning, we have Ty Smith from the California Railroad Museum. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for being here.
This was such a huge undertaking, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a tremendous undertaking. In fact, when people first started talking about it, everybody agreed it was a good idea. But then when they started scratching their heads, how can it be done? And one of the main people behind the idea was a guy named Theodore Judah. And many people around town called him Crazy Judah because he had the vision, but then the question was how to make it the vision a reality.
Yeah, and of course it required so many people to come here, all working for one main goal. But this really also transformed the economy, not just here locally, but in the United States.
Oh, it changed everything forever, because it's one thing to draw a little line across the Sierra Nevada mountains. It's quite another thing to actually make that work. So you had to put land where there wasn't by filling it in or building trestles or making tunnels, through solid granite. And that took thousands and thousands of workers. Many of them, most of them, in fact, 90% of the workforce of the Central Pacific Railroad were Chinese railroad workers who came from Guangdong province to California to work on the project. But once it was completed, once the joining occurred at Promontory on May 10th, 1869, it not only joined a nation at one of its most fragile times after the Civil War, but it also connected the rest of the world, because train went to steamship, which went to Asia. And so really what it was, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is explorers have been looking for a great water course that would connect the globe and make it easy to travel and circumnavigate the globe. We never found it. We made it. We made it in rail.
So it not only transformed the economy, but it also ended up transforming just the genetic makeup of what Northern California looks like, and we can still feel that and see that today.
Yeah, it's all around us. Sacramento is one of the most diverse places in the world, and the reason it is because of that history. Not only the gold rush and the world rushing in, but then people asking the question, what happens after the gold? And the answer came not in the gold that you found near streams or that you blasted out of the mountains, but the gold that you grew on trees. And because of that sustainable gold rush that's been happening predictably, reliably over the last 150 years, it meant the world stayed.
Yeah. Now, we see this is obviously still a very heavily visited, trafficked museum. We see a lot of folks in here, even though it's already early in the morning. What do you hope that some of these visitors take away from once they come in and leave these doors?
I think the relevancy of it, sometimes people go, oh, the train museum, but that's a mistake. We're more than a train museum. We're a museum of railroad history, and therefore that means we're a railroad people, right? So it's a museum of you, a museum of us, because our lives really are made of railroad stories. Even if you don't like trains, we listen to railroad music, we watch movies that are filmed on and around trains. The spatial relationship to the world around us is the product of decisions that people made 150 years ago. So railroading history affects our commutes. And then it is the people, because you don't have to dig around very far in family histories before railroad stories start coming up, because it was one of the largest industries and therefore one of the largest employers in the nation.
Yeah, well, Ty Smith, we appreciate your time. Thank
My
you
pleasure.
so much for joining us, and a happy 163 years.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Ashley, we'll toss it back to you.